Today I want to talk about the most difficult thing people face when complying with Section J of the Building Code, and it'll come as a surprise to you. The energy efficiency section of Volume 1 of the Building Code of Australia is called Section J, and it affects new commercial buildings. I want to keep this video short, so we'll look at this one aspect in this video and hopefully cover other aspects in future videos. The most difficult thing in complying with Section J seems to be how to sign off Section J at the end of the project. This step seems unnecessarily difficult for many contractors, and that's the reason I want to start here. I want to show that it doesn't need to be hard. I also want to show you why it's important to get it right. To put things into context, we do a Section J compliance assessment and report before the start of construction. The findings of the assessment should then find their way into the construction drawings, and the builder and the suppliers and subcontractors then set about building the building. The next thing we hear about the project is when we're asked to come back and sign off Section J for occupancy. Ideally, we should come to site at the beginning of construction for a kickoff meeting. This is a big help for the on-site staff so they can manage the process during construction to make sign-off at the end easy. Anyway, our first job at sign-off is to make a checklist. I'll put an example up on the screen. This checklist is derived from the executive summary from our original report. In the checklist, we leave space under each item so that we can progressively record how compliance has been demonstrated. The checklist is circulated to the relevant people periodically, so it's clear to all where we're up to and which items still need to be ticked off. Now we're getting to the difficult bit. As part of the sign-off, we need certificates from relevant contractors. Getting those certificates is unnecessarily difficult. Now, I'm aware of some of the problems, and I have some sympathy for contractors who are suddenly asked for a certificate at the end of the job. However, it is every contractor's responsibility to be able to certify their work against the relevant code requirements, whether they've been asked for it or not. It should be part of their work method. I want to stress that a certificate is not just a piece of paper or a bureaucratic hurdle. It's a representation to a third party that the work done is compliant. It must mean something. So what's involved in providing a certificate? I'll be focusing on Section J of the code, but a lot of what I cover will apply to other parts of the code. I'll also be referring to the sign-off checklist we produced to assist the process. If you haven't seen a Section J checklist for your job, then ask for one, as it'll form the basis of the certificate. There are two parts to the certificate. The first part is the certificate itself, which has a formal or prescriptive aspect to it. We'll go through that in a moment. The second part is the attached supporting information. And the attached supporting information is usually missing. But this is the key to producing a meaningful certificate. By the way, the regulations governing certificates is found in Part A, 1e of the Building Code. So let's start with what should be on the certificate. I can only summarise here, but if you want more information, we have it in PDF. If you'd like a copy, please contact us and we'll email it out to you. So what should be on the certificate? Well, it should be on company letterhead, and that's the company that was contracted to do the work, not another company. It should specify in the header which job is being certified, the address and the scope of work covered by the certificate. It should have information about the person signing the certificate. It must be the most senior person with personal knowledge of the project. It should include job title, qualifications, brief work experience, including any relevant accreditations and licenses. It should list the part of the code the work being certified is affected by. If a detailed Section J summary is provided in the attached supporting information, then the certificate can summarise the relevant parts of the code and refer to the attached details. The certificate must be signed. Under the signature should be the full name of the person signing, the job title, and dated. The second part of the certificate is the attached supporting information. Now this gets very detailed and will vary depending on who's writing the certificate and their scope of work. For our purposes here, it's important to note that it's based on our checklist. Each item in the checklist relevant to your scope of work must have a statement about what you did in relation to that item. In some cases, it might turn out that the item is not applicable for some reason. It's important to state that and to state the reason. It's difficult to explain this fully in this video, but we do have a PDF version which goes into more detail. Please get in touch if you'd like a copy. And thanks for persevering to the end of this video. I hope it's been useful.